my name is Grant, and this is a 1998 Ford Explorer Sport. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Ford's Explorer line, but they have a reputation of being horrible gas guzzlers. And I can actually attest to that. I did the mileage tests on my truck and found out that I was getting 13.6 miles per gallon highway, which as far as I'm concerned is absolutely unacceptable. Last year alone, I spent $11.4 bajillion on gasoline. Okay, I made that number up, but it sure felt like it. Well, I did something about it, and now I'm getting 56% better gas mileage, which translates to 56% savings in my pocket at the gas pump. How did I do it? My truck is now a water hybrid. Check this out. Well, technically, it's a hydrogen on demand hybrid. What we have here is distilled water with 1 teaspoon of baking soda used as a catalyst. We tickle that water with 12 volts of electricity, and what it does is it separates the hydrogen from the oxygen. That gas is then sent into the combustion chamber, where I was formerly getting a 30% burn. That's right, in all of your gas vehicles, you only get a 30% fuel burn, which translates to 70% of your fuel, of your gas, comes out of your tailpipe. Now, however, I'm getting a 100% burn in my combustion chamber, which means a few benefits. Number one, after a couple hours of running hydrogen, it had blown years of deposits out of my engine. My engine actually idles so quietly in city traffic I can't even hear it. My torque increased, my horsepower increased.
Why would you put a kid in a room behind a desk when the sun is out for their whole entire childhood? Not put them in front of water or ocean or anything that inspires them. Dim lights. If you notice, schools, jails, and hospitals all look exactly the same. Why wouldn't it be in something inspiring?
The reason they want to get rid of the small farmer is the small farmer is the last free person on this planet. Because everyone else has to depend on something else to make a living. But a small farmer with a piece of land, some seed in their hands, their intelligence, the sun shining, a bit of water, can produce with no external dependence. That is why the independence of the small farmer is seen as such a threat by those who would like to control the last living system.
So now you're telling me that it has been approved in Japan, the ability to mix animal and human DNA, therefore splicing it and creating animal-human hybrids that are allowed to come to term. Now I'm gonna let you marinate that for just a second. Are you good? Are we ready to cook this chicken? Now, the reason behind it is it is supposed to potentially help with human organ donors and transplants. Therefore, if you needed a heart, a liver, a lung, a kidney, you would have access to that quicker, because if you know anything about that, it is a very lengthy process and a very challenging one for those who need organs. But there are some huge red flags and a lot of skepticism attached to it, because they're not entirely sure what the human cells will potentially do to the animal brain. And then there's also the whole thing of religion. I swear every day I wake up, I'm like, what sci-fi movie did I just get a starring role on? What timeline did we just jump on? What universe are we currently residing in? So what do you think? Is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? Let me know, put it in the comments. And obviously this is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only, but we need to talk about this.
The film you are about to see has no characters, it has no people. It is a film to describe to you and explain visually the effect of cymatic frequencies on texture, structure, water, oil. If you spare a little of your imagination as you watch this film as it runs, you will see many things that answer many questions. You will see living forms, living amoeba, almost animal-like creatures. You will see continents being formed, the Earth itself coming into existence. You can see all this and watch it before your eyes. Everything owes its existence solely and completely to sound. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. We are told that this is how the worlds began and how creation took shape. If we put that into the modern idiom and say that into the great voids of space came a sound and matter took shape. Please watch carefully.
Dr. Peter Guy Manners laid the foundation. Now, we delve even deeper. The question is, are you ready to uncover the truths that have been meticulously concealed for centuries? Frequency and vibration, concepts long studied, with their sheer power archived in thousands of classified documents. The CIA, amongst other agencies, has detailed the immense capabilities of these forces. Their potential to induce earthquakes isn't merely a conspiracy theory. It's a documented reality. Numerous patents reveal the potential to influence weather patterns, hinting at the capacity to create rain and even hurricanes. The military's clandestine involvement in this domain suggests the gravity of its implications. The secrecy, the layers of obfuscation, all point to something profound. Consider this. The Wi-Fi signals permeating our environment are invisible forces we've come to rely upon. It's there, always present, allowing us to connect, communicate, and navigate our digital world. Similarly, the television, a staple of modern living, functions through electronic beams scanning rapidly back and forth, translating signals into images and sounds. This is the palpable power of frequency, present in our everyday lives, often taken for granted. Yet, in an era of incessant notifications and relentless distractions, our attention spans wane. We stand at the brink of revelations about sonic sorcery, yet risk being pulled away by a mere ping on our devices. The Illuminati, that shadowy ensemble, is believed to possess arcane knowledge of these frequencies, using them as instruments of control, influence, and dominion. There's a silent battle, an ongoing hunt for specific powerful frequencies that can reshape the very fabric of society and reality. If we falter, if our attention wavers, we may lose more than just a piece of information. We might lose an entire battle in a war we didn't even know we were a part of. It's a battle for knowledge, for power, and for the future of our world. So, I urge you, as we venture deeper into this world of hidden harmonies and clandestine chords, to remain vigilant. Understand the urgency. These aren't mere sounds or vibrations. These are the threads weaving the tapestry of our reality. Guard your focus, for in it lies the key to unlocking secrets that could define the course of our future. As we pull back the layers of secrecy, deception, and sonic sorcery, brace yourselves for truths that might just redefine everything you thought you knew. The quantum realm has often been likened to a vast, unfathomable ocean where the waves and particles dance in a choreography so intricate it defies classical understanding. But what if the choreography itself was not just a dance of probability, but was set to a precise vibrational score? To grasp this, consider the phenomenon of quantum entanglement. Two particles become interconnected in such a way that the state of one instantaneously affects the state of the other, no matter the distance between them. Preliminary studies from undisclosed research centers have found peculiar oscillations in entangled particles, hinting at a possible frequency that underpins this connection. Whispered figures suggest these oscillations may resonate at around 2.3 terahertz. Curiously, this frequency finds echoes in ancient Vedic texts that speak of Akasha, or the ethereal fabric connecting all existence. Then, there's superposition, where quantum particles exist in all possible states simultaneously until observed. But could these states be influenced by external frequencies? Recent experiments in shielded underground labs, away from the public eye, have found that specific resonances around 260 gigahertz can momentarily stabilize the superposition of certain particles, making them momentarily observable without collapsing. There's an obscure allegory in Sufi traditions that discusses a divine sound, stabilizing the essence of being. Could this be an early allusion to the principles of superposition? Beyond these phenomena, there's the mystery of quantum tunneling, where particles seem to teleport through barriers. Recent classified reports suggest that when barriers are exposed to a frequency near 5.8 terahertz, the likelihood of tunneling increases exponentially. Dive into ancient Tibetan scripts, and one might encounter references to sound-enhanced practices allowing monks to pass through solid matter, an exaggeration or an early grasp of quantum principles. The concept of quantum harmonics is emerging from the depths of hidden research. Drawing from guarded manuscripts, it appears that the Chinese I Ching's hexagrams might be symbolic representations of particular quantum states, each resonating at specific frequencies ranging from 400 gigahertz and 3 terahertz. In exploring these vibrational codes, one can't help but sense we're on the precipice of a deeper understanding of the universe. How might our worldview shift if we accept that every quantum interaction is part of an orchestrated symphony? And what if, by tuning into these frequencies, we can glimpse the concealed melodies that have, for eons, directed the dance of existence? It's an established fact that DNA, the very blueprint of life, is influenced by various factors, from radiation to chemicals. However, a growing body of underground research suggests that there's an unseen influencer, an auditory element, sound waves. Delving deep into molecular biology, one uncovers that our DNA isn't just a passive string of information. It's dynamic, responding to its environment in ways that are still being explored. It has long been believed in esoteric circles that certain segments of our DNA, often termed junk by mainstream science, are not useless at all. Instead, these segments may hold dormant potentials, awaiting the right trigger for activation. Enter the clandestine studies on specific frequencies, such as the 528 Hz, long heralded in ancient traditions as the frequency of life. When directed at living organisms, it's been observed to promote repair at the cellular level. Some hidden research documents, sourced from undisclosed labs, suggest that this frequency might play a role in the awakening of certain dormant genetic strands. Yet, 528 Hz is just a start. There's 612 Hz, a frequency less discussed and arguably more suppressed. Initial tests have indicated that it might interface directly with the human genome, subtly altering genetic expressions. And then there's the 741 Hz, which, in some hushed corners of the scientific community, is known as the intuitive enhancer. Experiments have shown that prolonged exposure can stimulate areas of the brain related to intuition and foresight. What's even more intriguing is the concept of harmonics. It's not just these primary frequencies that influence DNA, but also their harmonics, the frequencies that ripple out as secondary and tertiary effects. It's akin to dropping a pebble into a pond. The initial splash is the primary frequency, but the ripples, reaching far and wide, are just as important. But the burning question is, why is such information suppressed or tucked away in the annals of covert research? Is there a fear of what might happen should humanity access and harness its full genetic potential? Some suggest that the unlocking of these DNA segments could lead to abilities or perceptions long thought to be the stuff of legend, heightened consciousness, telepathy, or even innate healing capabilities.